Marvel Studios has officially released the fourth and final teaser for Avengers Doomsday. And unlike the previous previews, this one slows things down and narrows its focus. Instead of rapid character reveals or spectacle-driven moments, Teaser 4 is about alignment. It shows how different corners of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are beginning to move toward each other as the Multiverse Saga approaches its breaking point. This teaser places Wakanda at the center of that convergence. After years of upheaval, loss, and transition, Wakanda is no longer shown as a nation in recovery, but as a nation preparing for something far larger than itself. The imagery suggests a world that understands conflict is coming not just to Earth, but across realities. One of the most important confirmations in this teaser is the return of Letitia Wright as Shuri. Following the events of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Shuri accepted the mantle of Black Panther, but deliberately chose not to rule Wakanda as its queen. That decision created a power vacuum, one Marvel had not yet fully addressed. Teaser 4 finally provides clarity on who now leads Wakanda. Winston Duke's M'Baku is revealed as the new King of Wakanda. This is a significant evolution for a character who was originally introduced as a rival to T'Challa. Over time, M'Baku transitioned from antagonist to ally, then to protector, and now to monarch. His rise reflects one of the MCU's quieter long-term arcs, showing how leadership can be earned through consistency rather than conquest. M'Baku's kingship also signals a shift in Wakanda's identity. Unlike previous rulers, he is less defined by tradition and more by pragmatism. The teaser presents him not as a ceremonial figure, but as a leader preparing for war, diplomacy, and survival on a scale Wakanda has never faced before. Alongside this political change, the teaser revisits one of Wakanda's most complex relationships, Namor and the underwater civilization of Talokan. Tenoch Namor appears once again, but the imagery surrounding him is unsettling. His people are shown stranded on land, far from the environment that gives them power and identity. This visual alone suggests that the threat looming over the MCU is not selective. It affects oceans, nations, and entire civilizations equally. The displacement of Talokan reinforces the teaser's central theme: no world is safe. Whether advanced like Wakanda, hidden like Talokan, or powerful like Asgard once was, every realm is vulnerable when reality itself begins to fracture. Characters are no longer reacting to isolated disasters. They are preparing for loss on a universal scale. The tone of the teaser reflects this shift. There is very little dialogue, and what is present feels heavy, reflective, and restrained. Rather than heroic declarations, we see characters bracing themselves as if they already understand what is coming and know they may not survive it. Marvel's decision to center this teaser around Wakanda is deliberate. Wakanda has always represented foresight, preparation, and technological advancement. In past films, it stood apart from the rest of the world. In Avengers Doomsday, it appears to be one of the first to recognize that the coming crisis cannot be contained or ignored. This awareness aligns closely with the comic roots of Secret Wars, where Wakanda is among the earliest factions to detect the collapse of the multiverse. The teaser does not explicitly mention incursions or collapsing realities, but the visual language strongly suggests those concepts are now in motion. Teaser 4 makes it clear that Avengers Doomsday is not just another Avengers assembly. It is the moment where isolated storylines finally intersect, and where survival will depend on cooperation between worlds that have never worked together before. And that convergence becomes unmistakable in the teaser's final moments. The teaser's final sequence delivers its most important reveal with restraint rather than spectacle. Instead of an explosion or a villain reveal, we see a quiet but powerful moment of convergence. M'Baku comes face to face with Ben Grimm, better known as the Thing. With this single interaction, Marvel confirms that Wakanda and the Fantastic Four are no longer operating in separate corners of the universe. They are now part of the same unfolding crisis. The inclusion of Ben Grimm is significant for several reasons. As a member of the Fantastic Four, He represents one of Marvel's earliest superhero teams, long defined by science, exploration, and unintended consequence. His presence, alongside Wakanda, the MCU's most technologically advanced nation, signals a shift toward collaboration between the franchise's greatest minds and strongest civilizations. This meeting also carries deeper thematic weight. Wakanda's strength lies in preparation and foresight, while the Fantastic Four are born from discovery and risk. Bringing these two forces together suggests that the coming threat cannot be solved by power alone. It will require intellect, sacrifice, and a willingness to challenge the laws of reality itself. The scene subtly echoes the Secret Wars comic storyline, where Wakanda plays a crucial role in recognizing multiversal collapse long before other factions fully understand the danger. In those stories, incursions begin quietly, with worlds colliding and realities erasing each other. Teaser 4 does not spell this out, but the implications are clear. Avengers. Doomsday is laying the groundwork for a multiverse in active crisis. This teaser also reinforces the idea that Doomsday is not about introducing chaos, but about responding to it. The disaster is already underway. Nations are displaced. Civilizations are stranded. Leaders are rising not to conquer, but to protect what remains. The Avengers are no longer racing to stop a villain before damage is done. They are preparing for a battle where loss is inevitable. That framing is what separates Doomsday from previous Avengers films. This is not an origin story for a threat. It is the midpoint of a collapse. The multiverse has moved past warning signs and into consequence. Every alliance shown in the teaser feels reactive, not hopeful. Marvel has also been careful with scale. Rather than showing the full Avengers lineup, Teaser 4 focuses on symbolic figures: a king, a protector, a displaced god, and a living embodiment of strength. These choices suggest that leadership, not numbers, will define this chapter of the MCU. As Marvel's first Avengers film in 7 years, Avengers Doomsday carries enormous expectations. It must reestablish narrative momentum while also justifying the long buildup of the Multiverse Saga. By focusing on convergence rather than spectacle, the teaser implies that Marvel understands what's at stake. The film is not just a continuation. It is a test of whether the MCU can unify its many branches into a single, coherent direction again. Wakanda and the Fantastic Four coming together is not a cameo moment. It is a declaration of intent. With Secret Wars looming, every teaser now functions as a piece of long-term storytelling rather than short-term hype. Teaser 4 makes it clear that the MCU's next era will be defined by collapse, alliance, and survival, not just heroism. If Wakanda, Talokan, and the Fantastic Four are already mobilizing, it suggests others will soon follow. The Avengers may assemble again, but this time not to save a single world. This time, they may be fighting to decide which worlds survive at all. Avengers. Doomsday is no longer approaching quietly. The multiverse is shifting, and Marvel is finally bringing its most powerful factions into the same conversation. What happens next won't just shape one movie. It will define the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.